Hi everyone, I'm Galina, and in this video I am going to talk about my personal theory of human behavior, where it comes from, how it influences the way I engage with others, and how aligned I feel my beliefs are with the way I show up as a future social worker. This assignment challenged me to pause and reflect on my assumptions, and I found that I already carry a personal theory. It just hasn't always been conscious. I've come to realize that my personal theory has been shaped by a mix of my upbringing, experiences, and education. I tend to view people in the context of their environments. I don't believe we exist in isolation. Our behavior, emotions, and even our sense of self are constantly shaped by what's happening around us. That really aligns with ecological systems theory, even before I knew it by name. At the same time, I find myself drawn to cognitive behavioral ideas. I believe the way we think about ourselves and the world can either lift us up or drag us down. So much of what we struggle with isn't just about what's happening to us, but also how we are learned to interpret and cope with it. When I look at how I interact with others professionally, I think my values and actions line up fairly well. I try to listen deeply, avoid rushing to fix things, and always consider what someone might be carrying that's not visible on the surface. I am not perfect, of course. There are times I want to offer solutions too fast, but overall, I try to act in a way that reflects my belief in people's potential and complexity. Question: can people change? I believe they can, but I also think change is hard and non-linear. Sometimes change is slow, messy, and full of setbacks. I think what pushes change is a mix of internal desire and external support. Someone might feel the need to grow or stop a harmful pattern, but without the right relationships or environment, that spark can die out. That's why support systems matter so much. How do people change? I think it often begins with awareness, when someone can name what's not working. Then change happens step by step, often with trial and error. I believe healing and growth aren't linear. They are cyclical and they depend on trust, safety, and time. What about personality traits? I see them as a blend of what we are born with and what we learn. Some things, like temperaments or sensitivity, might be innate, but how we express ourselves, how we relate to others, or how we cope under stress is heavily influenced by life experiences. I also believe people behave differently depending on who they are around and how safe they feel, which shows that personality isn't fixed, it's adaptable. The big question I choose to reflect on is what motivates people. I believe people are motivated by the need to feel safe, understood, and in control of their lives. That doesn't mean control in a rigid sense, but in a way that helps them feel like they have agency and direction. I also think people are driven by connection. Even when someone is acting out or withdrawing, it's often rooted in a need to be seen, accepted, or protected. I've noticed that when people feel unheard or powerless, motivation decreases. But when someone feels validated and empowered, even a little, it can reignite their desire to move forward. So I think the most powerful motivations aren't fear or pressure, they are hope and relationships. To conclude, I've realized that my personal theory is grounded in understanding context, building trust, and helping people rewrite their beliefs they are carried for too long. I'm still learning, but I believe that when we meet people with patience, respect, and willingness to understand their whole story, real change becomes possible.